shoot hogs because we got to keep the numbers down. So sometimes we're just trying to get the numbers down and we're just killing hogs. So I think that if they just try to broaden their horizons a little bit and not just think of throwing things on smokers and go get yourself a grinder and make some sausage. I
Oh,
mean,
I'm with you.
yeah, because it's really sausage is fairly easy to make, and you'll love it. Around our house, we spaghetti and meatballs or lasagna. It's all with I make Italian sausage. That's what we use in those dishes. And I mean, I look back on using beef and I think, God, how bland that was.
Yeah.
It wasn't very good. So I don't think of a specific thing. I just think of I wish more people would learn to give it some effort, or try to give it some effort. People have a lot of excuses why they don't, but I think if you did, you'd learn to appreciate it.
I got to figure out what I got to do, and I know I don't need a hunting license now. Jeremy informed me of
Yeah,
this to hunt hogs. I got to get a hunter's license and a weapon and take a gun class or whatever I got to do to hang out with you guys and do this. I am
yeah,
my every little geek synapse in my brain and it gets excited because I'm also dealing with food items and products I cannot go purchase.
right,
I would do stuff. I had a home and I had a little organic garden, and I taught myself just enough organic gardening from the internet, vermicomposting, and I would grow lettuce. And I'd grow like heirloom variety of vegetables and radishes and some deer tongue leaf lettuce. And when we'd have dinner, I'd say, do you guys want salad? And they're like, yeah. And I'd go out and pick some radishes and some lettuce from the front yard, which was where my garden was, and everybody would just freak out because the texture and the flavor profile of just trash vegetables. I mean, these are radishes. Radishes aren't anything to write home about, right? The combination of like textures and flavors, you couldn't go purchase the salad I just picked out of my front yard. And then when I saw the photos of what you were doing, it just blew my top off. Like I couldn't believe this was right under my nose here in Texas, and I had no contact with it at all.
right. The thing too is a lot of people want to throw a can of this and a can of that in there. What you see there is all made from fresh ingredients. You can't you lose flavor out of it in a can. And so that's another part of it is people don't want to take that time, and it's an extra expense. It's just not for everybody. I think in the end, it's something you got to want to do. And there's a lack. It's amazing at a state like this, there ought to be more schools that are teaching what to do. Jesse does a school down there, but it's limited. I mean, and I went to it. It was very good. I enjoyed it. I really didn't go for. He takes you through everything. You hunt, you hang it up, and they you skin it and gut it, and they let it hang in a cooler. And then they come back and they got a huge kitchen. They go in down there. He does all the cutting, all the cuts, all the way through it. And I wanted to learn a little more about specific cuts and how you cut them. I mean, no matter how much you do. So I got a little out of that. Biggest thing I got out of it is he makes awesome masa, the tamales were
Awesome.
unbelievable.
Oh, masa for the tamales.
Masa
Okay.
for
Yeah.
tamales, yeah. And
Dude, you killing me, man. You went
well,
you went for carnitas, and then you had to put me in tamale land. I'm like, I'm
yeah,
drooling.
yeah. It's everything about all this is fresh. It's not been processed anywhere. You don't have all the antibiotics and hormones and steroids and all that kind of stuff in it. It just the meat's much fresher. But he does do a good school. I don't know if he's doing the long school still, but Jesse's a great guy. He's fun to work with, and we need more of that. There has been some talk about doing field to table stuff around. Problem is, it's just so time consuming to get through one dish. We can cook for 19 hours straight here. That's doing one dish. And we can do a lot of stuff like that, but it's just a lot of time. So people got to be willing to go for multiple days and, to learn to do it all. So that's kind of where that's at, and not a lot of people. There's a lot of fill the table interest, and I think you just have to pare it down. You're never going to get to the level of
See,
what
and
you
the,
see.
the farm to table movement is the geeky restaurants in Austin that I'm most interested in. And then you go introduce a new term, field to table. I'm like, oh my lord. So what? So okay, can you take wild hog? It has to be inspected to go into a restaurant in Austin before somebody can even purchase it, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
USDA, yes,
Yeah. Hmm.
supposedly.
And then probably for a restaurant, supply is an issue because getting a constant supply is like, hunting itself is a different, different beast. It's like,
There are purveyors of wild hog. There's a couple, at least two that I know, three in Texas that sell. I had one of the better ones, very interested. He wanted to buy thousands and thousands of pounds of it. And they're all over. I mean, they're not just in Texas, they're everywhere. But yes, you can get it. But the problem is the way their whole system stacks up is it gets pricey. Before the pandemic in New York, you could get wild boar for $75 a plate. The people bought it. So here we should be able to do things. It's right here. It's right here. We could do it.